radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Caughie Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa and Cynthia Caughie when she gets here. On Take My Advice, I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. I am so grateful to be here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station. AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, TE Live, Rumble, GeoSon, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. I am Dr. Marissa with my fabulous Friday Fired Up, #UP, Unlimited Possibilities co-host Cynthia Caughie. Wait, over it. who is
I love it. Good morning.
And we're here because we want to splatter more hope and happiness on you. And so we don't want gossip, don't want scandal, don't want K words, no Kardashian talk, but we do want to talk about things that matter to you. And today we're doing a little bit of a different turn because we want to balance out the personal side of things, which is very important, which we covered last week and the week before. Confidence we covered last week. The week before we had something to do with relationships, I believe, or romance or being single or something like that. But today we're going to take a nice turn into a topic that we both are quite well versed in because we're both business owners. And I'm a solopreneur. Cynthia is an entrepreneur. She's a restaurant owner and a number of other things. And we wanted to talk about business, not just for you all who are small business owners or large business owners and work in leadership or wherever you work in the company, but also about how things have changed since the pandemic. So we talked a little about this yesterday. We're excited to bring it to you. Go to my YouTube channel. The link will be in 1 minute when Cynthia starts talking. I'm going to post it to my link tree, which is in my Instagram bio. Cynthia's going to put on her Instagram in a California minute, and we'll just be able to blast even more. And that way you can chat. I'm also on Facebook, my Facebook page and Facebook profile. So go ahead, because we want Thursdays to be as interactive as possible so that we can find out where you are, answer any questions, agree, disagree, agree to disagree. And that's what today's about. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning. It's Friday. It is Fired Up Friday. I'm excited. The weather is not cooperating right this particular minute, but it's going to be hot today. I like my sun to shine.
Yeah, I'm solar powered too. And and we both are. And actually the tagline for this show, thank you for the thumbs up. The tagline for the show is, who can out positive each other? Because we're talking yesterday and she's like, well, I like to approach it positively. I'm like, really? Do you know?
It's funny, and I can hear it when it comes out of my mouth. I'm like, I think I want to take it on the upside, because there really always is an upside.
Right. But you're talking to someone who is #positively opinionated, who was named that. So that's why it's going to be a competition, but we'll see who wins by the end.
And I'm okay with that. Healthy competition is good for you.
Absolutely. It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether I win or lose. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to do a quick gratitude sandwich. We're having breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Cynthia. You know the drill. The eyeballs are rolling in. Literally, if you have someone with you, please turn to them or put in the chat 8 specific things that you are grateful for. We take that from Dr. Wayne Dyer, the late great teacher, who said that if you do 5 gratitudes every morning, you will have a great day. So we're starting with that. So I'm an overachiever. 8's a lucky number in Chinese. I'll start. I am grateful for my fabulous coffee first thing in the morning, especially when I was out late last night dancing. And we will talk about that later. What are you grateful for, Cynthia?
I am grateful for amazing friends like you. I have some amazing friends that came to see me yesterday, and I am just super grateful for those relationships.
I am grateful for technology when it works and when it doesn't work. So that allows us to basically, I get a virtual studio in my living room. Cynthia's in her restaurant, and we can broadcast from anywhere.
Right. I am grateful for my beautiful children. They are amazing. And through life's ups and downs, I'm always grateful that they love me unconditionally.
I am grateful for my 2 daughters, beautiful inside out, who are driving down from San Francisco on Saturday to come celebrate my birthday. Again.
I love it. Birthday month, for sure.
For sure. I'm about to make it my birthday year. One more gratitude.
I am grateful. You said the phone, but it is technology, because I have made friends all over. I'm doing the post and I'm tagging people and I'm like, this person's in New Jersey and this person is in Texas and this person is in Chicago. So I'm grateful that we have that technology to stay connected with people that we love and appreciate.
Fantastic. And tonight, before you go to bed, we're going to prime you now with the bottom of the bun of the sandwich, which is 8 appreciations for yourself. What do you like about yourself? Especially if you're a woman, that may not come easily as something that you think about, but we're desperate that you find a way to approve of yourself, so you're not always looking for other people to like you, literally. So, Cynthia, what do you appreciate about yourself? You get to start.
I appreciate my Italian heritage.
I appreciate my Chinese heritage.
Yes. I also appreciate my fire and tenacity.
That's 2.
Gets me through a lot of tough times.
I appreciate my laugh and my sense of humor. One more.
I appreciate my caring nature.
I appreciate my loving most of the time nature. 88% of the time. And there you have it. Thank you for having breakfast with us. Hold it. And that's how you start the day and the show on this show in the most positive way. So let's fire up that Instagram, unless you already have. And then we're going to go into the topic. And as you're doing that, I'll give a little preface of sort of the world we want to open up with. Since this is our first time talking about business owners, business success, I will just say that I am, let's see, actually there's a funny story around this. So I thought I would go the traditional route. I got my PhD, and when I was doing my internship, okay, she's on Instagram, so she's going to invite me, and I'm going to talk and join at the same time. So here we go. Oh, I hear myself talking. Okay, I'm going to request to join. She waved at me. I just love technology here. Okay, so hello to Jane. Live, here we go. And then there's a very bad feedback. Is that better? Can you still hear me?
Yes, you are in my ear though. I'm going to take it. Oh yeah, see, I can.
Yeah. Take me out of your ear. And then I had a way to share this, and then it lost. Okay, here, 1 second. So we're talking about business, and I always thought I would go to the traditional route. I had no idea that I was actually going to be an entrepreneur. I was offered many jobs, like Scott Paper Company, Cooper's and Lybrand. I thought I would go and do that stuff, and then what happened was I fell into consulting, and I consulted in IT, in user involvement. I'm an organizational psychologist by education, and that's what I did. And then it honestly took like almost 2 decades. I got invited to speak and join faculty for I'm join faculty on CEO Space International, which is the largest entrepreneurial school ever. And Bernie Dorman, the late founder, who's in the same place as my father is in heaven, he invited me. And in that first session in Florida, I realized, oh my God, I'm an entrepreneur. Isn't that crazy? And then just recently, last year, I realized that I'm actually a solopreneur, which means I enjoy working by myself. People have told me I need a team, but I don't know. It's called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. I don't necessarily work well. I've got so many things going on that honestly it's so much easier for me to just do it. And by the time I explain it and train you, it's just a lot more work. So until someone proves me wrong, that's what I'm identifying. So now, Cynthia, you tell me your history with work.
I have been in hospitality all of my life. My first job and career was telecommunications. I loved being customer service. I loved doing all of the things to help people get settled and do all of those things. So I've always had a service background. And now, my very first job when I was 13 was in the cafeteria of the school when I was in junior high. So I've literally always done customer service. I've always had done hospitality. I had my first serving job when I was 21, and I've loved it ever since. I've served in this restaurant that I now own. I served for 13 years, and then I purchased it. I have been the owner for 4 years, so a total of 17 years right here at Home Run Pizza in Santa Rosa, California.
I didn't know that. I thought you started from scratch. I thought you started from
As the owner?
Yeah.
No, this business was established. We have been open 19 years. We'll be open 20. Our big 20th anniversary. I'm planning a party in March of 2023. So crazy. So crazy.
That's so cool. You started there as a
server. I started as a server, front of the house. We at one time did breakfast. We don't do breakfast anymore. It's not our bread and butter. Dinner, pizza, families, after games, during, baseball games here. It's Home Run Pizza and sports bar. So we are playing sports all the time, whether it's local, whether it's football. We have 5 TVs in here and 12 tables. We have a bar. We serve beer and wine. It's a good family atmosphere, and I will never, ever lose that because I'm Italian, and I believe you come together when you eat food, and it's really good food. My signature dish is a knuckleball. And if you have not had a knuckleball, this is what I always do. I have to ask you, have you ever tried a knuckleball? It is our pizza dough stuffed with mozzarella cheese and bacon, and it is ooey gooey goodness. Once you've had one, you will want them as often as possible. It is amazing comfort food, and we pride ourselves on this amazing deliciousness. So, if you have not been to Home Run Pizza in Santa Rosa, you should come down and check us out. I invited my friend, Jean. I'm hoping that Jean is watching right now. And if you are, you should just jump in the chat and say, hey, good morning. We were talking a little bit about our customer service topic last night. He has been in customer service for years and years. and years. I love you, Jean.
So I'm going to do a tech check. I see that you put down, are you hearing a feedback? I turned my volume all the way down. I am still hearing a little double trouble. So I just put on the chat, please migrate over to my YouTube channel where you can chat and watch and we won't get the feedback. And I apologize. Every week we actually do troubleshoot to try to figure out how to, broadcast here, but we're just having some, technical opportunities for improvement. So Cynthia, you can sign off at any time that starts bothering you. And then we'll move over and have everybody move over to YouTube. Is it bothering you now? Is it the feedback bad?
I don't hear any feedback right now.
Oh, good. So then we're good.
But
I just hear an echo. I hear me twice. And sometimes it's difficult hearing me once. So I don't know if I want to hear me twice. But anyways, we're good. We're good. We'll keep going. I'll try to continue to figure out how this is going to go. But okay, so let's talk about business customer service. And one of the questions is, how has it changed because of the pandemic? And you have two great examples of what you went through yesterday and the day before, or whatever it was. So go ahead and that's why we're talking about it.
Well, it's funny because I just want to preface with, what is customer service? What does customer service mean to you? I've been in the hospitality business for a long time. A long time. And I know that it is service-based. When I get a new employee, I tell them, people come for an experience. They're not at home. They come out because they don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They want it to be easy. And so what I say is, customer service is doing something for the customer before they ask. It is a service. You are serving someone, right? That's why people go out. We go above and beyond because we want you to know that we are appreciative that you have chosen Home Run Pizza to come and have dinner. So, two sides to the question. That's what customer service means to me. That's what we practice here in the restaurant. We had two ends of the spectrum yesterday. I had two customers come to us and give us, one was feedback and one was a compliment, and a very good compliment. So I'll start with the feedback. Having the restaurant and being a restaurant owner for 4 years, I listen intently. I listen intently. I really do. A lot of people want to be heard, right? If you come to a place and you've been there for years and years and you are vested and you want the place to do well, people come and they give you feedback. And so I say, okay, I will listen. As long as it is constructive and it is something that can better, I'm good. I'm really, really good. Again, I always look at the positive side. I always look at the glass half full because I always believe that there is improvement. So I understand that things happen. Nobody's perfect. But the underlying goal is always 100% customer service, making that person feel special.
So that's your definition of you're getting the feedback again, huh? So yeah, we're good. So and Gene's here, so you're good. He heard the call, he heard his name. and customer service, I have not been so much in customer service as you have. And the joke is, someone asked me early on if I ever saw myself, because I travel a lot. Have you ever considered being a flight attendant? And a friend next to me goes, "Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if someone asked Dr. Marissa for a pillow?" Her response would be, Are you kidding me? Don't you see them when you opened your upper door here? They're in the corner. Can't you get it yourself? Now, I'm not that bad. Okay, I can be that bad, but I expect people to use as much of their own, get to itness or get it or the gospel according to Nike, just do it yourself. So yeah, I'm not a great customer service person. I have to admit.
Well, the feedback we got first was about some pricing. So, in a service industry, we have regulars. We have people who love us, who support us, who come regularly. And so the feedback was that this amazing woman has come in for years, and I actually know her personally, and we went to school together. And she said, and she was a little taken back, and she said, I just want to tell you that I got charged full price for a glass of wine. And she arrived 15 minutes before our happy hour, and we have special pricing at happy hour, which is amazing. And I say, we have really good pricing. So she gave me, I listened, I stopped, I listened to what she had to say. And she was, like I said, a little taken back that she paid full price for a glass of wine when she intended to come for happy hour. So I explained the situation and I said, we appreciate you. And sometimes we do extend the happy hour price before happy hour as a gratitude for you coming in to Home Run Pizza. Regulars, and I know I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth by telling everybody, regulars get treated very well. And because they come and patronize here and they support us, we want them to feel special, and we extend that. And that is what I explained to her. I also explained that the person was new and she was simply following the rules, which is awesome because that makes me feel good as a business owner. She's doing what she should, right? She's following the guidelines of when happy hour starts and when it ends. So we have happy hour every day from 3 to 6. And at the end of our conversation, she said, oh no, it's no big deal. I just wanted to let you know. So in the service industry, again, I do believe it is about being heard. People want their opinion to matter. And a lot of times in the service industry, people remember not what you did, not what you said, but how you made them feel, right? They want that feeling when they come in here. One of our core values is inviting. We want to invite you back. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to have fun. That is a core value also. And we want you to come back time after time. We love it here. We want you to love it here just as much as we do. So that was a good customer service twist, kind of. The expectation on her side was here. The expectation on our employees' side, she knew the rules and it was here. But to meet in the middle, right? And to do the service part, the conversation was had. And that was, I think that was one of the best parts. She can understand my stance, and she can understand that also on the other side that it's a nice thing when she gets the happy hour price before happy hour. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that was the feedback. So
that was the feedback.
You came back and you smoothed over some ruffled feathers. Did you have a talk with your staff?
That particular person, no, because she wasn't here, but that's okay. We'll have the conversation.
And what would that conversation be? Just curious.
So she did absolutely everything right. She did an amazing job, right, for the restaurant and what we do. When she sees somebody on a regular basis that comes in, just ask, hey, is it okay if I give the happy hour price just a little early? They were here a little bit early. And then as time goes on and she gets more experience, then she'll know who it is. And it's not And this is the part that, you know, as a business owner, we have to weigh, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
The
when to
business.
hold and when to
That's
fold.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
And so you can't do it every time.
Mhm.
And that's what I told my friend and customer as well. I said, you know, we love to do it for you. We do it as an appreciation, right? For you coming in and supporting us. And so that's the exact way that I will approach it with my employee and saying our team member, you know, you see when things are happening, you see when people are coming in a lot, extend that gratitude. I'm okay with that. It just can't be every day, you know?
So thank you for following the rules.
Yes.
So that would be you didn't do anything wrong. And
No.
here's a clarification for regular customers. Now, do you think that would have happened? We're going to talk about pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic. Do you think she would have said that? Because one of the things that I hear from a lot of people is that people have gotten a little more, what's the word, grumpy since the pandemic. And it's like, one sense we're relieved that we're coming out of it. On the other hand, like I notice, I have to admit, I love to go fast. And, people see my little sports car and they want to race, and I will do that with them. I'll be the first to admit, at the risk of the Asian woman driver stereotype. But and I'm safe 88% of the time when I'm driving. But I've noticed that there are a lot more aggressive drivers. I don't know if it's because I wasn't driving so much during the pandemic, but and I've noticed more altercations in the news, just on the 7-Eleven in Santa Clarita, or and I don't know if the news is just showing more of that, but I do cover the news as a broadcast journalist, and I'm sent on things, and there's, random fights or violence. I don't know if that's because people are, getting their stuff out, their suppressed anxiety. But we did sort of touch on this yesterday on the phone in preparing, is that maybe this is a post-pandemic phenomena.
Is that my cue?
Yes, that's
I have an opinion. Would you like to hear it?
You told me you're Italian. You have an opinion about everything. I'm Chinese, and I have an opinion about everything. And we're both women, and everybody has a right to our opinion.
In every conversation, I really, really, really like to go to the positive, because I do believe there's always room for growth. There is always room for improvement. But part of our condition right now is that we created it. We created, as a society, in the news, and I know this is my opinion, it's not going to go over well. I have been in this restaurant strong-minded, holding my own through this pandemic, and I can tell you the attitude that I brought to this situation and what other people have told me, I stayed strong to my beliefs and my values. And I do believe that we were scared. We put fear into people. And now, because of that fear, we are hypersensitive. And because we are hypersensitive, we have a short fuse. We are impatient. We want things to be all about us. We're not giving enough of our space, I think, to other people. It's literally all about us. Like me as a person, you as a person, the other person on the other side or the other lane. Get out of my way. I got to be here. I got to be there. Why didn't you do this? How come you didn't do that? I hear a lot of it. And I even with my kids, even in things where I'm having a little bit of a hard time going, pretty sure I'm the mom, and I know you have an opinion, and that's great. But this is a two-way street, and a lot of times we forget that it's a two-way street because, and this is my opinion, we were isolated. We were fearful. So what do? We retract. We want everything to be about us. It's survival of the fittest kind of thing. It's what do I have to do, right? And you're not conversing and you're not having that interaction with somebody else. You're on a screen. We were doing that whole thing.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons, but I think that on the side of customer service and why our mentality is the way it is and why are we impatient and I believe that it has to do a lot with the conditioning that we've had from the 2 years. Now, here's my question to you, and I'm just curious. How do we get out of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was just about to say, since this is a show about solution, we've identified the problem. We're not going to stay with the problem. Jean is confirming the problem. More impatient. We are more impatient. And, the why at this point matters less than the how do we return to being human kind. Emphasis on kind. So my first Happy 88 tool that comes is stop. And I just figured this out this morning. I've been waiting for a good term and I found it. So one of the things is stop the SMH, shake my head scrolling. Because if we start our day looking at all the ways in which people are impatient with each other and all the evidence of all the things that are still going wrong or being magnified post-pandemic, then guess what? It's called Pygmalion effect or the law of attraction. What you think, what you believe, you will see more of. So here's the deal. We have such powerful minds that if we think the drivers are more aggressive, it's that never-ending self-fulfilling prophecy. Then an aggressive driver will either jump and cut you off or you're going to notice them. And that your heightened awareness, and it just adds to that ball of not useful. So, and not feel good. So if we can, yesterday, probably I'm ashamed to say, I'm no shame. I don't want to admit this, but I rarely am very courteous because I'm got to get somewhere, and to continue to let people in front of me doesn't help me get there. But yesterday I made a specific point of letting someone in. And it felt so good. I'm not saying I did, but it honestly felt so good. And so then I noticed someone else doing that. And I wasn't irritated. So I think the whole thing, my first thing is, stop this shake my head scrolling and it's such a time waster. For sure. And it makes you feel bad. Most of the time, what you're reading makes you feel bad. So stop doing that. So we begin to break on the negative, break on the impatient, and take that breath and move to the positive. As Cynthia keeps saying, how can I be nicer? How can I give someone the benefit of the doubt? That's another tool, BOD. How do I give benefit of the doubt to everyone and cut them some slack right now, especially now?
It's interesting because one of my favorite quotes is, well, gosh, I have so many quotes, but it always comes back to you, right? It always comes back to you. It starts and ends with you. If you want to see a change, make a change. Be the change you want to see in the world. One little thing that you did, you let somebody in, and then what happened? You saw somebody else do it. It's the same thing with the restaurant. It's the same thing in our daily interactions. At home, it starts at home. Do it with your children. Be kind to your children. I find myself, and this is the funny part, I find myself not being able to stop the interaction and the feedback. I ask first most of the time, can I give you a little feedback? How about we do this, or how about this? I do it to people I don't even know. I was in a local hangout, and there was a couple, and I could see what was going to happen. And I approached the gentleman and I said, can I just share something with you? I didn't say feedback. I said, can I just share something with you really quick? I said, I noticed what was happening and I would just like to offer you this. Be kind. And that's it. I didn't go into a whole lot of detail, but just those 2 words and just getting the focus off of what was happening and what he could actually do. Right? So you're changing the way you think.
What was his response?
He looked at me and he honestly, he smiled. Honestly, he looked at me and he smiled and he said, thank you.
Wow.
Didn't know him from Adam. Didn't know him from anybody. And so for me, I smile because he could have taken it the wrong way. He could have said, get out of my face. He could have said, I don't know you. You don't know me. But he literally just said, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I didn't go into detail, nothing else. That was it. But, again, it's kind of the ripple effect. You drop one little pebble, right? Be the change. One little thing. It doesn't have to be huge.
And I want to highlight. Yeah. I want to highlight something here that's really important because you took you took a chance and you did something that could have potentially had a negative effect, and I think that keeps people from actually saying something when we should be saying something. So what you permit, you promote. And so all of these people who are allowing, and I just got involved with this. I wasn't planning on talking about it. I'm a giver on social media. I usually post and, if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, keep your opinions to yourself. But I'm not I don't do a lot of viewing other posts, but this one post came up and they were making fun of small people. I think that's the term they use now. People who they used to call midgets, but I don't think we call them. That's disrespectful. So a person who is of small stature, and they were making fun. And I put in the comment, I said, is there a way to have humor without disrespecting and putting people down? And someone, and normally I wouldn't do that because I know I'm going to get something back. And I thought, I have to really practice what I teach, so I took the risk of putting that out there. And of course, someone came back and said, maybe social media isn't for you. Obviously, Cynthia, they don't know who I am. So I thought for a second, should I, but I kindly replied back. Actually, I didn't want to say that you have 50 followers and I have, digits more than that. But I said, I'm hoping that all of the events that have been happening lately, including what happened at the Oscars, including what happens, especially I did 2 shows on suicide against my will. But I did them. And in the research, the number of people who took their life that had in the explanation, part of it in their suicide note was around cyberbullying, was enough for me to compel me now to say something when people are bullying. Because there's that whole BS belief system that the best way to laugh is to make fun of something has to die soon. And if we don't get a handle on that, the suicides are just going to continue. It's going to blow up. It's going to implode.
Jean says, my mantra is be nice because it really works. And last week I butchered Greg Reed's quote, but I pulled it up today because I want I want to say it correctly, and I want to tell everybody that this is huge. So Greg Reed, both of our friends, an author, an entrepreneur, amazing fella. This is his quote: "What we tolerate will continue. So become diligent to only accepting excellence." So I read this quote and I digested it. And here was my response, and this is my take on it, and this has become part of my mantra. It starts with you, right? Start making yourself excellent. How you talk, how you act, how you listen, how you perform, how you show up, and how you live. Then tolerate won't even be in your vocabulary. And it truly has changed my thought process. It's an amazing thing when you look for the positive. Like you said, what you think about comes about. What you think about, you focus on. So I have literally changed my whole way that I think. And because we're letting these things, we tolerate the Instagram, the bullying, the cyberbullying. We tolerate and we accept this for our kids. Oh, it's just the way it is. It's not. I have 3 lovely ladies. I have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 12-year-old. And I told them the 2 younger ones both want Snapchat. One is entering into high school and the other one is in junior high. I said, absolutely not. I said, you have enough to do. You have enough to focus on. You don't need to be focusing on all of the BS, not the belief system. Well, I guess it could be a belief system about what you believe that people are saying about you, that people are friending you and not friending you and taking you off Snap, and all of this just negative crap. So it's what I tolerate. I said, absolutely not. And they give me a lot of pushback because it is the norm, because other people have it. I always use the rule, I'm not their mom, I'm your mom. And so I really believe that what we tolerate will come about. So be excellent at being you. Give that excellence. Start with you. And then it will be, again, that ripple effect, and it will perpetuate. And who knows whose life you can change by doing that? Who knows?
Absolutely. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what you're listening to, who you're looking at, this is our Fired Up Friday series. My Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa and Cynthia Caughie. And we're talking today a little different than the personal stuff we've been talking about, although it always comes back to personal, because there's really no distinction between professional and personal, because we're bringing the same person. But we're talking about customer service. We have validated that things have gotten a little trickier and not as nice because of the pandemic, and why it matters less than that we just turn that corner and reestablish humankind. Jean's mantra, be nice, because it really works, that it's easier to convince someone with honey rather than vinegar. That's an older one, showing my age, although I'm ageless. And it is absolutely that we have to take a stand now. When you see things that are not kind, say something. And like Cynthia, you don't have to make it a big moral presentation or shake your finger or anything like that. I usually do something like, when I hear something that is demeaning or not nice or not kind, I look at the person in the eye and go, really? Like a puppy dog, when they hear something that they're not sure what it is, and I tilt my head and I go, really? And that gives the break, that time for that person to stop for a second. And because sometimes we just, we spout off without thinking. And then my last tool that I'm going to offer is from Dr. David Simon, who's on the other side, a beautiful neurologist. I went to his living memorial before he died of a brain tumor kind of ironic neurologist. He's the co-founder of the Chopra Center. And he said, and I'll never forget it, and I hope I never forget it, 3 questions to ask yourself before you open your mouth. Is it true? Have you done the research? Are you absolutely certain it is true and verifiable? Number 2, is it necessary? Do you really have to say that? When you were saying, can I give you some feedback? Whenever someone says to me, can I give you some feedback? I go, okay, but can you try to not get it all over me? So is it true? Is it necessary? And the last is it kind? So even if it's necessary, is it kind? Is this the time and place to say it? Is it the words that you're using, which is only 7% of communication? 40% is in tone, pitch, and volume. 53% is in facial expression and body language. So I leave you with that. I really, really, really want everyone to ask themselves those 3 questions. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? If it's no, keep your front door shut. And Cynthia, I want us to end the show with the positive thing that you got, your feedback at the restaurant, because I think that's beautiful and more representative of what we want.
And here's the other thing. A lot of people won't express the positive. And so that can be something that we focus on. When you see it, actually vocalize it, share it with somebody, tell somebody. And so we had a very large order last night for a woman that has come in for a couple of years now, and her son started football. And so we had a large order, and she gave us the compliment when she came to pick up the pizzas. She said, I just want to tell you, she said, I have noticed when I've been going out what customer service is and what it's lacking. And every interaction we have had with Home Run Pizza, every single person we have talked to has been absolutely beautiful, she said. Those were her words. She said, it has been an absolute pleasure. And I just wanted to tell you that every person we talked to was absolutely beautiful. And I said, thank you very much. I will extend that to the team because it means a lot. It really, really does.
I'm so glad. And that is absolutely something you are 1,000% correct. Take the compliment and share it.
That's right.
Because we don't normally talk about what's good. We normally go right to the negative. When someone says to you, you're good at this, and you're waiting for the but, right? So I call it drive-by compliments. Can you do 8? Here's your challenge for the Fired Up Challenge for this week. Can you do 8 drive-by compliments to anyone? So what is a drive-by compliment? Is you drop a compliment and you keep going without looking at the reaction. Okay? So that's my challenge. I'm going to make it our challenge, so that we'll see what happens next week and see how you feel, because it's all about, am I feeling better about this or worse about this? I don't say if it's right or wrong. Do you feel good about this and what you said and what you're doing, or don't you? And then if you don't, how do you take Cynthia's positivity and turn it into something that makes you feel better? Any last words? We're on the last 5 minute of the hour. I did want to give a shout out to a couple people, but do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can start. I just, I want to encourage everybody, look at yourself. What are you giving? What are you giving this life? And it always comes back to you. And I have learned, and so this is why I share it as often as possible. I really like your challenge for people who just go about their day. And if you're listening to this, I really encourage you to have that goal of 8 people. Really focus on it. When you have the intention to go into the day and touch 8 different people's lives by giving them that drive-by compliment, which I really like, I know that you will brighten your day and their day by doing it. And joy comes from the inside, whether you give it to somebody else or you're receiving it. You'll see what a change it makes. So I really like that challenge. So I encourage you all to do it.
Fantastic. I I was trying to pull these up, but they're not coming up. So I'm going to ask you to go to my social, Doc Balance on Instagram. Cynthia Caughie is also on Instagram, or my Facebook, or even LinkedIn. I have pictures there from last night's hoopla. I went to a wonderful fundraiser at the Beverly Hilton put on by the Pump Brothers. And you'll see a picture of me, 5'3", with Mama, who is 7'6", and it's truly one of those classic. Did you see it yet? I posted it last night. And if you swipe through, Eric Benet was there. My former studio guests from Secret Knock, Bailiff Bird and his beautiful wife were there. My incredible new friends, Queen Benita, and Alon. Alon is Otis Williams, Temptations founder's daughter. You may remember his grandson, Trace Austin, was on my show. He's opening for Lil Wayne in Florida tonight. I'm so proud of him. So I'll be putting a little post up on him. But it was a great night. Apparently, Oscar De La Hoya did show up very briefly, and I missed him. I was so bummed because I was going to show him my picture with me and Manny Pacquiao. Because Manny opened for me on a stage in the Philippines right before COVID. And then someone said, if you showed him that, you may not have gotten a picture with him. So who knows, rejection is God's protection. So, but it's a foundation that raises funds for cancer research and fighting cancer. So it was a great night. And I thank Queen Benita for the invite, and it was wonderful meeting the twins, Dave and Dana Pump, and a lot of different people there that I'm going to forget mentioning. But I know, I did dance. There's another funny video, Don't Show My Kids, about me dancing. And it was the cute response was Tellis. She's on Instagram. She has 1 million followers. I was like, she goes, you are my new Tia, I think is the word for auntie, whatever I saw you dancing, and so we connected, another one of those quick connections. And now I'm doing her red carpet at the end of the month for a golf something, but she is just beautiful inside and out. So Tally, and I'm gonna forget her last name. But anyways, we're at the end of the show. We're so glad you joined up for Fired #UP Up Fridays. I'm Dr. Marissa and
Cynthia Caughie,
reminding you that it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Join us again next Friday for this Fired Up Talk, and make sure you come back Monday for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Now go have the best weekend ever.